You're stepping on landmines and don't even know it. Every wrong decision with the wrong woman is eroding your future, your bank account, and your sanity. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 7 types of women who act like explosives on your path. And more importantly, how to identify these landmines before they detonate your life. Most men believe that true love conquers all, that she will change for you, that all it takes is patience and understanding. This is a romantic lie that leaves you vulnerable. The truth no one told you is this: repetitive behavioral patterns are infinitely more reliable predictors of a relationship's future than pretty words or initial intentions. You can ignore this reality, but it won't ignore you. Your love life is a minefield. Certain partners represent explosive landmines, camouflaged under smiles, promises, and moments of temporary happiness. The problem isn't that you don't deserve love. The problem is that you haven't been trained to identify the signs on the ground. And as you walk blindly, every wrong step brings you closer to a detonation that could cost you years of your life, tens of thousands of dollars, and pieces of your identity that you might never recover. Many men underestimate the devastating impact of certain feminine dynamics. I'm not talking about normal flaws. I'm talking about destructive patterns that sabotage your career, drain your energy, erode your self-confidence, and turn your life's mission into a footnote. If you don't identify and manage these patterns now, they will manage you. And when that happens, it will be too late to recover what you've lost. I'm going to give you a map. A map to identify and disengage from relationships with women who exhibit behavioral patterns fundamentally incompatible with building a stable and prosperous life. By the end, you will have absolute clarity about who deserves your time and who is sabotaging your future, but only if you have the courage to face the truth without flinching. First type, the energy drainer. She always has drama, always. It doesn't matter if you just closed a deal, if you're exhausted, if you need to sleep. She needs constant validation, uninterrupted attention, and turns trivial crises into emotional emergencies. The classic example is the crying call at 3 in the morning because her friend said something she misinterpreted, demanding your immediate presence. You wake up, drive there, solve the problem, get home at 5 in the morning, and the next day you're destroyed at work. This pattern repeats. Every week there's a new emergency. She drains your battery to the last volt and returns you empty with no energy to build your own life. Second type, the covert saboteur. She's subtle. She doesn't attack you head-on. She minimizes your achievements, discourages your ambitions, creates indirect obstacles that seem accidental. Are you studying for an important certification? She suggests you're working too hard, that you should relax, that success isn't everything. Do you have a crucial work file on the shared computer? She accidentally deletes it. Are you planning to invest in a course that will boost your career? She questions if it's worth spending that money, if you really need it. She poisons your ambition drop by drop until you start to doubt your own dreams. Third type, the chaos queen. She thrives on instability. She creates unnecessary conflicts, turns small disagreements into epic battles, uses anger and jealousy as tools of control. Are you at a social event with your friends? She starts a public fight over something trivial, like you talking 2 minutes too long with a female colleague. She humiliates you in front of other people. And then, when you complain, she flips the script and accuses you of being too sensitive. Chaos is her natural habitat. Peace and stability bore her. She needs the adrenaline of conflict. And you become a hostage to this emotional roller coaster. Fourth type, the boundary tester. She constantly challenges your limits, ignores your no's, tests your permissiveness to see how much you can take. Did you clearly say you don't want to spend money on something? She insists, manipulates, cries, throws tantrums until you give in. Did you ask for space to focus on an important project? She shows up unannounced, just to say a quick hello, and stays for 3 hours. Every boundary you set is treated as a negotiable suggestion. She is constantly measuring your strength, your ability to maintain your frame. And if you give in once, she's learned that your boundaries are flexible, and flexible boundaries are not boundaries. Fifth type, the financial parasite. She sees you as an exclusive provider, an emotional and financial ATM. She has luxury expectations and zero reciprocity of effort. You pay all the bills, all the dinners, all the gifts, while she offers nothing in return, even if she's financially capable. When you question it, she invokes tradition, romance, or simply acts offended. She's not building something with you, she's extracting resources from you. And the more you give without reciprocity, the more she expects. Until you wake up one day and realize you've invested a fortune in someone who never invested in you. Sixth type, the chronic victim. Nothing is her fault. Never. The ex was a monster. Her parents were negligent. Her boss is unfair. Her friends are fake. She lives in an eternal role as a victim of circumstances, never taking responsibility for anything. And do you know what happens when you get involved with a chronic victim? Eventually, you become the villain in her story, because she needs someone to blame. And when others leave the scene, you're left. She doesn't seek solutions. She seeks validation for her narrative of suffering. And you become the next chapter in the saga of injustices she tells herself. Seventh type, the hidden controller. She doesn't yell. She doesn't openly demand. She manipulates decisions, friendships, and routines subtly, using guilt and emotional blackmail. Do you want to go out with your friends? She doesn't forbid it. She just stays silent, makes a sad face, sighs deeply. She makes you feel guilty for having a life outside of her. Gradually, your friendships weaken, your hobbies disappear, your decisions become filtered by her emotional reaction. You've lost control of your life and didn't even realize it. She put you in an invisible prison where the bars are made of guilt and emotional obligation. Now let me show you the real cost. Carlos, 32, an engineer. He met a charming woman who, little by little, began to criticize his friends and demand that he spend all his free time with her. Carlos ignored the initial warnings. After all, she just wanted more attention, right? 6 months later, Carlos was socially isolated. He lost important friendships of many years. His productivity at work plummeted because he lived stressed and without the support network he always had. When he finally ended the relationship, he realized he had lost not only 6 months, but years of connections that would never be the same. Marcos, 38, an entrepreneur. He got involved with a woman who presented herself as detached and independent. But she lived in financial crises, asking for money and promising to pay when things got better. Marcos believed the promises. He lent money repeatedly, first 500, then 1,000, then 5,000. In total, he lost almost $30,000. Money he should have invested in equipment for his company, in working capital, in growth. He delayed personal and professional projects for years. And the worst part? She never paid back a single cent. She disappeared when he stopped lending. Pedro, 29, a developer. He was in a relationship where his girlfriend constantly tested him with unfounded jealousy and accusations of infidelity, even though he was completely faithful. Pedro tried to prove his innocence. He sent photos of where he was. He answered all calls. He showed conversations from his phone. He dedicated more and more time and energy to calming her down. The result? Total emotional exhaustion, constant anxiety, complete erosion of self-confidence. Because no matter what he did, it was never enough to satisfy her irrational expectations. He became a hostage to a dynamic he couldn't win. These are not isolated cases. These are patterns. And you are probably making the same mistakes now. You are ignoring initial red flags, thinking it's just a phase, that she will change. You are trying to fix her, taking responsibility for her happiness and problems, endlessly draining your own energy. You are avoiding confrontation because you fear arguments, giving into irrational demands to maintain an illusory peace, losing her respect and your own in the process. You are justifying her bad behavior, creating elaborate excuses, denying the reality of the destructive dynamic. You are prioritizing her approval above your own goals, losing your identity and your boundaries. You are believing empty promises, giving successive second chances to behaviors that repeat without real change. Each of these mistakes has a price, and you are paying that price now, even if you haven't realized it yet. The bill will come. It always does. So what do you do? How do you disarm these landmines before they detonate your life? Here is the protocol. First step, develop your self-awareness. Understand your own values, your non-negotiable boundaries, your life goals. If you don't know what's important to you, you can't protect it. Sit down and write. What are your 3 core values? What are your goals for the next 5 years? What do you absolutely not tolerate in a relationship? These answers are your foundation. Second step, identify patterns, not isolated incidents. Everyone has a bad day. Everyone makes mistakes. The problem is not the single mistake. The problem is the repetition. Observe the recurrence of problematic behaviors over weeks and months. If she tests your boundaries once, it might be an accident. If she tests them 3 times in the same month, it's a pattern. Patterns don't lie. Third step, establish clear and non-negotiable boundaries. Communicate your expectations directly, without beating around the bush. I do not tolerate unnecessary drama at 3 in the morning. That is non-negotiable. I do not lend money in relationships. That is a personal rule. Be crystal clear, and be prepared to reinforce these boundaries with actions, not just words. Fourth step, apply the 3 strikes rule. Give limited opportunities for behavioral correction. If she violates an important boundary once, talk about it. If she violates it twice, warn her it's the last chance. If she violates it 3 times, you already have your answer. She does not respect your boundaries, and you need to be ready to disengage without looking back. Fifth step, invest in your own life. Maintain your hobbies, your friendships, your ambitions. Do not allow a relationship to become the gravitational center of your existence. You had a life before her. You need a life with her, and you will have a life after her if necessary. Men who put everything in a single emotional basket lose everything when the basket falls. Sixth step, prepare to disengage. Have an exit plan. This is not a lack of commitment. It is self-protection. If you live together, have an emergency fund so you can leave if necessary. If you share finances, keep separate accounts. Have the courage to end relationships that compromise your well-being and your future. Because maintaining a toxic relationship out of fear of being alone is trading freedom for false comfort. You will tell me, but that's generalizing. Not every woman is like that. And you are right. Not every woman is like that. Most are not. But the patterns I described exist. And if you are in a relationship with a woman who exhibits these patterns, the fact that other women do not exhibit them changes nothing about your situation. The focus here is on behaviors, not identities. It's about dynamics, not gender. You will tell me, but I love her. She has good qualities. And I don't doubt it. She probably has good qualities. But qualities do not negate destructive patterns. You can love someone and still recognize that this person is incompatible with the life you want to build. Love is not enough. It never was. Respect, reciprocity, alignment of values, these things matter as much as love, perhaps more. You will tell me, but I've already invested so much time, so much emotion, and that is the sunk cost fallacy. Have you heard of it? It's when you continue to invest in something bad, because you've already invested a lot, even knowing it's irrational. Companies go bankrupt because of this fallacy. Men destroy their lives because of this fallacy. The time and emotion you've already invested are gone. You don't recover those resources by continuing to invest. You only increase the loss. The right question isn't, how much have I already invested? But rather, how much more am I willing to lose? You will tell me, I'll be alone if I'm so demanding. And I answer you, temporary loneliness is infinitely preferable to the wear and tear of a toxic relationship. Loneliness you choose, toxicity you endure. And while you are in a bad relationship, you are not available to meet someone good. You are blocking your own access to partners who truly complement your life. You will tell me, but she promises she will change. Great, promises are cheap. Consistent actions over time are expensive. Observe real behavioral change over weeks and months, not just words. If she is truly changing, you will see it in the facts, not in the intentions. And until then, maintain your boundaries. Here is the final truth you need to accept. Your primary responsibility is not to save her, fix her, or wait for her to become who you need her to be. Your primary responsibility is your own self-protection. and the maintenance of your boundaries. You are not cruel for protecting your future. You are responsible, and the more you accept that, the stronger you become. The minefield is ahead of you. The mines are there, camouflaged, waiting. But now you have the map. You know what to look for. You know the signs: energy drainer, covert saboteur, chaos queen, boundary tester, financial parasite, chronic victim, hidden controller. 7 types, 7 patterns, 7 threats to your life. The question now is, what will you do with this information? Will you continue walking blindly, hoping luck will protect you? Or will you open your eyes, identify the patterns, establish your boundaries, and protect the future you deserve to build? The cost of inaction is simple. Tomorrow will be a repeat of today. Same problems, same frustrations, same slow erosion of your energy, your money, your peace. But if you act, if you apply what you've learned here in the coming days, you reclaim your personal power. You regain control of your life. You stop being a hostage and become the architect of your own destiny. Now it's your turn. Comment below. Which of these types of women have you identified in your life, and what was the most important lesson you learned? Your experience can save another man from making the same mistakes. Share it. And if this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because the truth is not gentle, but the truth sets you free.